The world is changing.
51 years ago, the War of the Wilds came to a stalemate. The people of the Graynor Peninsula set all plant life ablaze to stop the Stranglehold and built a mighty wall to keep the wilds at bay. All the while, they sat atop their monument, never truly knowing why this all began. A likeness of peace blanketed the blasted lands.
1 year ago, it all changed. An ancient god, once bound by old magic, found himself free and took his vengeance as his shackles were shattered. The mountainous city of Bulwark paid a grave price, but in the wake of this destruction comes the first glimpses of the possibility for true and honest peace.
Our heroes venture from their familiar homeland into the fullness of what their world was before the war. A world they've touched, but never truly seen. They find themselves caught between a land that has tried to end their lives hundreds of times over, and a country they helped decimate.
Under the canopy, they seek glory, truth, and salvation. The world is changing, and their hands will guide it. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I continue to be your GM. Today, we cross into the autumnal line. Thank you to our backers, Connor, Kyle, and Jeremy for their support. If you'd like to support the show with them, please check us out at our Patreon at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia. You can also give us a rating or review on your podcatcher app of choice. With that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down another path.
Would you all like to hear about JJ's latest feat of intelligence?
Oh, absolutely.
That does relate to Dungeons and the Dragons.
Even better.
So, we have to teach him ABCs, which he picked up like a year and a half ago, but here we are. And he has an ABCs book. He has the ABCs of D&D.
Yes.
Which is just delightful, and it rhymes, and it's wonderful. And JJ was not reading this book, and then decided one day to pull it off the shelf and make it part of the bedtime routine. I was like, great, kid, I'm raising you right. We're on the right track here.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, I don't know, about a month. We're driving home, and I decide to quiz him on his ABCs.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can do this. And I said A, and he says B, and then C, and we go on and on. We get all the way around, we start over again, and he starts. And he just starts reciting the book. A is for adventure. B is for book. C is for creatures. D is for dungeon master. And it kind of goes on and on and on. But this is where I'm at in life.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
R is for Ravenloft.
Okay.
Oh,
which
wow.
is a hard word for a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the worst words that you could have for the ABCs of D&D?
Aboleth. Oh, Aarakocra.
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra's pretty bad.
B is for Bill Dualpool. which is a real fucking D&D god.
T is for Troglodyte.
Perfect. Troglodyte. Oh, yeah, pretty good. T is for treasure. That sweet stuff monsters hide. So all I'm saying is...
It's all candy.
Yeah, get at me, D&D, and I'll record the audiobook version with my adorable 2-year-old.
What's the Q?
Quest.
Oh, duh.
Q is for quest. My favorite is X is for XP.
Okay.
So that's clever.
Okay.
Clever's a word.
I see.
O is for owlbear, so he is now obsessed with owlbears.
As he rightly should.
Owlbears are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so I do have a question then. I have an owlbear question. We're all DMs here. We've all done this for a while.
We have.
When JJ asks me what sound an owlbear makes, what do I do?
Well, this actually bleeds into my tangent very well.
Great.
Because I've been watching Dimension 20's Fantasy High.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And the mascot of the high school is an owlbear, and the sort of like chant that is, like the team chant is hoot growl, hoot, growl, hoot, growl.
That's
so
pretty good.
you could go with that.
That's pretty good.
So, like, I watched, like, 15 minutes of a live show with Brian David Gilbert on it before starting. Anytime there was, like, a huge moment of success, the entire audience started chanting, hoot, growl, hoot, growl, hoot, growl. I'm like, that's
peak
fucking
internet
amazing.
right there.
Speaking of owl bears, so, oh goodness, why am I spacing on the devs? Larian Studios put out the Baldur's Gate 3 game.
They did.
Yes.
Somewhat recently. I'm going to get us onto our normal pre-game video game chat.
Naturally.
Perfect.
Apparently there's an owl bear you can find that talks.
Fresh as hell.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm like, they're not supposed to do that, though. So,
I mean, a wandering druid and a grave misuse of awakening can create all sorts of terrible things in the woods.
Hello, I'm Morgan, the talking owlbear.
please, mortal.
Since we happen to have the proprietors of the Multiversal Pet Shop here with us, morality speaking, pet that talks like that, is that still a pet?
We liken it more to, like a friend or a companion.
We do not work exclusively in the pet business, despite the name of the shop. For certain creatures, there are those that are... It's honestly what we are when we really boil it down is we're matchmakers.
We are. We that's more than anything. We're matchmakers. Matchmakers make us a match.
Because, like, familiars talk. And they're your
Sure.
good buddy. And, like, what could you call them a pet? Sure, as, like, maybe, like, a sweet mention to them. But, like, if Morgan, the talking owlbear, this is just becoming a Pet Shop episode.
Yeah, hello.
There was a moment right there, particularly Griffin, where you switched into Pet Shop Griffin character.
No, I really did.
And the shift is subtle, and I really do hope the listeners caught it.
I caught it. That's why I mentioned that. I was like, that's what I noticed, too.
Oh, it was weird. I do love it, though. Please continue.
Moral of the story: I would, if you arrange the terms with Morgan the talking owlbear, and you both, if it was a relationship based on mutual respect,
If you find
and
it amenable,
understanding,
yeah.
then it's fine.
There you go. There you have it.
But if Morgan has a problem with, hey, I own you, then, like, yeah, Morgan has every right to bite your face off and hoot growl on your body. I will say real quick for the Another Path fans out there, you don't need to listen to the whole episode. Skip to about halfway through episode 52 if you want. Zach and I did release the official trailer recording for Zephyr Shenastiliath Sings the Hits.
TM.
It is
TM.
ours. We made it. So don't you dare. Unless you pay us.
And then you can use it wherever the fuck you want.
Please.
I'm very proud of how it turned out.
You should be. It's so good. I forgot that was where it was dropping, and then the internet kind of blew up, or at least our very small corner. It's like, oh, right, that's today.
Stay to the path. Speak not to what's within the wood unless spoken to. Stay to the path. These are the 3 rules that Rakar Shadowstep has laid out for you as your crew makes its way to the edge of the autumnal line. Snow falls gently around you, and as you venture towards autumn, winter is at your back. A gentle warm breeze hits your face as the feet of the Kyrip Strider leave snow and enter soft, dead grass. All right. Check yourselves. Prepare. Do you have everything that you need before venturing forward? We will not be turning around until after your venture.
Well, I sort of left everything back at least at this point.
Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom.
There's a rock over there.
Perfect.
You will want to... This will also be your last moment of privacy. Reminder, as soon as we go in there, you do not leave the path.
Everyone looks back and Mordecai's wearing his eagle mask.
Good.
Gaga.
That's fine. I have no problem peeing in front of you all. So
Okay, that didn't land.
I have written on my sheet somewhere from somewhere. I have a bottle of something old AF. of like liquor or something. I don't know. I forget where I got it from. Maybe from like Kyron's bar back
That
in
sounds
like
right.
like
Yeah.
Clove or wherever we were. But
You mean Clove?
as right. No, it's Clove. I don't want to confuse the listeners. I will in old tradition, now that I have some liquor on me again, I will just pour a little bit based on its smell at like a half a shot for everybody. And just kind of, toast to a fortuitous venture.
Let us not get fucked up too bad.
I mean, like, honestly, I'm not worried. Jesus. Oh. Okay.
Oh boy, I'm awake. I thought I was gonna take a snooze. Not anymore.
I'm not that worried because literally our entire upbringing and training has been how to traverse a killer forest. So, like, I'm feeling okay, honestly. This
You're
is
not
kind of
wrong.
literally what we've been trained for. Mordecai does like a quick gear check. I still have my plant killing articles of pitch and salt that I make sure I like double fasten to my belt. I've got the workman's gavel on my hip, the stone shield's back there. I've got my fist bites for a mean left hook. I got Hugo. Like, I'm good to go, man.
All right.
Wait, shit, did I leave Hugo behind? No, I couldn't have. Hugo!
Hugo, still very sleepy from the pancakes this morning, pulls himself out of the top of a pocket.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Squeak.
I'm
And then
sorry. to
drops
make
back
this
down.
He rolls out like Gus from Cinderella.
Absolutely.
Got a little Gus energy.
So we look at Master B, we look at Amareya, we look at Kyron. All right. I think we're ready to go. There's a whole bunch of us.
I've got my lamp. I have a litany of hand axe, dagger, crossbow that I never use.
It's a starting range weapons.
And I've got my gauntlet. I've got my book. I've got my coin of redux in a convenient place.
That's right, you do have that coin of redux.
I do have that coin of redux.
Very good.
My tattoos are on my skin, so I don't need to worry about that. I do make the last suit you'll ever wear look like classic safari gear.
With the hat?
With a piff hat, yeah.
Perfect.
Awful.
There is an
terrible.
ascot included in this outfit, there are the shorts. It's like the shorts, like pretty much like the dad from Tarzan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I do
man,
have to
that's-
ask the question, when the last suit you ever wear changes, is it a shimmering and then the clothes are different, or does it like morph?
I think it's like it kind of mystiques. Like it sort of like turns and like in shifts.
Like
Like
bubbles
a card
out.
trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Who is ready for adventure? A monocle appears from nowhere.
I have a question for Ricard.
Yes.
I'm pretty comfortable in this environment, and I can take on different sort of animal forms. Would it be advantageous to have a sort of a forward scout, or are we just how long? I guess how long do we expect this journey to be?
You are going to the very large dragon temple, yes?
That's the one.
3 days.
Have you been there?
I have been to the foot of it. I have not climbed and I have not inspected the temple. It is known to be a dangerous place. Dangerous? How? Amareya Deshani speaks up. It has been taken by something. I do not know what is found in there. I do not even know who the last person to check it out would be. But it is something that we are taught to avoid as we learn to traverse the woods.
Does it have a name or a legend or a scare you shitless story?
Just that people who go there tend not to come back. We don't go. There's only a few people that are foolhardy enough to traverse the woods to begin with.
Yep.
That's us.
And those of us that do know how to navigate the woods, we tend to value our lives more than try to go poke a beehive after we've already traversed a field of wasps.
Well, all this is to say I can spend 6 hours of a given day in animal form, where my senses are a bit more heightened.
If you would like to do that, I am not going to stop you.
Alright.
For what it's worth, at the moment, I can also see the number of living creatures, even if hidden within 60 feet of us.
That's not nothing.
So, like, that's something.
Well, let's start off with that, I think.
Tis good.
Do I need to give a speech? It worked well this morning. And then Saphir gave a much better one. So maybe I should leave the speaking to Saphir.
Or, I mean, I think we're all on the same page. We know what we're doing. I think we're feeling remotely confident.
Stay on the path.
Stay to the path. Speak not to what is off the path unless spoken to. And stay to the God's damn path. And with that, Rakar will wheel his Kyrip Strider around and venture into the woods.
I turn to Mordecai and go, oh, he says that to stay on the path twice to reiterate its importance.
Yeah, bud.
Gotcha.
I think actually as a precaution, so Mordecai doesn't instinctively say hello to everything that he sees, will hand his reins off, and I will wild shape into a direwolf.
Excellent. All right.
Well, if you're a direwolf, then I will not pick you for this. I cast Aid. I pick me and Saphir and Amareya.
Okay.
So, and we just get a bonus 5 hit points for 8 hours.
Excellent.
Maximum is increased.
Amareya, Dejani, Master B, and Chiron are with you as well, and they've been inspecting their gear, seeing Prakar venture into the forest. They nod, look at each other, look at everybody around them. Right then, we heading in.
Let's go. Hey, Chiron.
Hey,
You ready to start a religion?
I'm ready to see one being started. Not sure if you noticed, I'm not exactly a holy man myself.
Have you looked at your hand?
No, I'm a handyman, not a holy man.
We need those too.
Is it dark in there?
It looks like a forest in fall. It's a little shady, but it looks pretty, honestly. Lots of dappled light and god rays going through.
Cool. I'm going to light my dragonfire lamp just in case.
Okay.
That was a 12.
Okay.
It is lit. And it is ready.
All right. You pop your lantern. Do you hold it or do you, affix it to your saddle?
Oh, no, I'm probably holding it.
Okay.
You know,
You venture
getting the light
in,
going.
lantern aloft. Anybody else doing anything as you go into the woods?
I'll just kind of, if we can walk two abreast, I'll be up front with Rakar.
Okay.
I have keen hearing and smell as a direwolf.
Excellent. And with that, you are able to tell that this place, it feels different. It smells different. It smells off. The closest thing you could tell would be it's close to what the Fae smelled like a little bit, but even still different from that. It smells of dying trees and iron.
Mordecai, Wolf Mordecai does that thing where bat at my nose a couple times.
I have heard those of you real have that reaction to this place. Something to do with how it was made. Whatever curse that befell it. Blood. And he continues to ride without another word.
I'll follow along.
What are the two of you doing?
I'm scanning. I've got my feed up. Just looking for weirdies.
The woods are shockingly empty. Every so often, you'll see a bird kind of flit through, and they are, as far as you can tell, utterly banal. Nothing special about them at all, but for their scarcity.
Do I see birds' names? Or that it's
like Kevin,
like Tony and Kevin are flying by.
Felicia.
Absolutely.
I think I'm getting used to the feed, so there's multiple points throughout the ride where I'll catch glimpse of like Kyron's like thought and Jackson's, where like I'll read what they say and answer like respond to it, and then like I'm like, oh wait, they didn't say that. Poop.
Jackson's going over that killer crepe recipe.
It just needs more cinnamon.
Most things do.
Perhaps add some blueberries.
Yeah, just unprompted.
Oh, you got some?
For what?
Never mind. It's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Don't be teasing a man with blueberries.
Oh, I don't have. It was for it was a recipe. I hope your mother's doing all right.
There's 3 minutes later, Jackson goes, "Oh, thank you."
You're welcome.
I gotta write this down. I think Jackson is as soon as we enter the forest, Jackson has some hard flashbacks to sorties off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
A group of well-armed people astride mounts planning a quick excursion into the forest. And I think he's a little bit more on edge than he has been in a while on this side of the wall. But is able to keep everything in check and stay focused on the task at hand. Amareo to his side and a constant communication with Chiron. I like to think there's like this strange three-way conversation of Jackson and Chiron geeking out over the cool things that Amareo is giving them and forgetting that Amareo is right there.
Right.
So if we're gonna make a new religion, Chiron, like what should our slogan be? Like follow the dragon god, you'll get cool shit.
It seems a little more transactional than a deity tends to be.
You looking for a new god? Try the purple dragon. You
know I am red, right? Like when all is said and done.
Well, then why'd you pick purple?
It is one of my branches of knights. I covered the entire chromatic and gem spectrum.
Oh.
What about the metallic?
Fuck the metallic.
Metallic, that was for another.
That was way too cryptic. Will you explain yourself?
I don't know if I can, actually, Zephyr.
I don't like the way that sounds.
It's on the edge of my memory.
I think you'd make a great yellow ranger, knight, Chiron.
I think green is more my color. You got emerald there, my boy.
You want to be the green ranger?
I mean, he was always the coolest one.
But he was a bad guy at some points.
I just got it. I was staring at my inventory.
He was complex. I liked that. It was a lot for a kid's show.
But then he went red, and then it
didn't he go white then red, or was it?
Well, he was red and then white. Please get on my level, Chiron. No one knows Sir Thomas Oliver better than this guy.
Oh my god.
I am going to push you into traffic.
Guys, I know a lot about Power Rangers.
I do want to dive into that, but not while we're recording not while we're recording this podcast.
Go Power Rangers.
Go Power Rangers.
The day continues largely quietly by the time Ricard does call to stop and set up camp. You are all incredibly tired, lest we forget this is the same day as the peace talks.
Yeah.
I
would burn my second wild shape to spend the rest of the trek in. I can do 3 hours per wild shape, so I'll burn my second to stay in wolf form for now.
Cool.
Yeah, when we eventually read a halt, like Zephyr's just like, what? What?
It's time to set up camp.
Oh, good. I think I fell asleep there for a bit.
You are good to take watches tonight, eventually. Zephyr, maybe you not first.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
All right.
Zephyr, you can see in Mordecai's brain that he's feeling fine and can take watch first.
Hey, thanks, Mordecai.
He gives you a very cute baby wolf, Awu.
Awu. What do you do to prepare for the camp for the evening?
Are we sleeping on the road, basically?
Yeah, we can't leave the path.
However, the path is surprisingly wide. It's a solid, 20 feet across. So you've got a little bit of room to spread out, and of course you've got the entire length of the path, so however far away you want to set up tents and bedrolls and whatnot there, but you are on the path.
Yeah, a question actually, now that I'm, as we've been walking it, is the path man-made? Is it like a game trail? Like,
at this point right here, it looks incredibly man-made, particularly because of how wide it is. It looks like something that just exists.
So we're talking like a dirt road in the middle of the forest,
Yes.
basically. Weird. All right. I mean, yeah, Mordecai's probably got maybe an hour of wolf left. I can take first watch. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you all do to like prepare for camp and whatnot?
I don't know if we brought wood with us.
Yes, there is wood.
I just flop some down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Is the ground? Is it like it's not paved? Is it like or like cobblestone?
Nope, it's dirt.
Yeah, I just throw it on the ground. Breath weapon, poof, light it on fire. Roll my bedroll out and just fucking conk out.
Fear passes out. Ricard does prepare a meager dinner for you all. Jerky and some root vegetables put together in a stew. How awake do you become to eat this? Yeah.
Do I?
Not at all.
I'm out. I've had a very taxing mental day.
Sure.
Wolfakai will save you a bowl.
Nice. Thanks, Wolfakai.
Okay. So Mordecai is taking first watch. Zephyr, are you taking a watch at all tonight, or are you just gonna let Mordecai?
I mean, like I will, like if people wake me up eventually.
Sure.
Jackson can take multiple watches.
True.
Is elf.
Okay, so we'll go Mordecai, Jackson, and whoever he decides to wake up.
Sure.
Fair enough.
So Jackson takes very seriously the warnings given to us, and he goes and he finds a stick on the path. Finds a stick that's fallen on the path. A nice long, twiggy one, and he takes it and he goes to one side of the path and he very carefully starts measuring the width of the path.
Sure.
Discovers that it is in fact 9 sticks long, and then makes his way back, finds the middle of the path, the exact middle, and sets up his bedroll, splitting middle, militaristic, some tight corners there.
Yep.
Everything's perfect. Does it the whole thing, and then he takes his stick and draws like an oval all the way around his bed roll there, so that if he breaks the circle, he's aware.
Okay.
Because can't go off the path.
Can't go off the path.
I have never felt more prepared as a character than this moment.
Good. Day rapidly falls into night. The evening light is absolutely brilliant in the forest, shining through trees of amber and gold. And then, when the sun is gone, you are plunged into a darkness very much unlike what you have seen before. You've slept in the woods before, but not woods like this. There is something else in here. Ricard warned you about it, but would not speak its name, and still, now that he is in the woods, does not speak its name. He does his best to ignore it, but his best isn't enough to dissuade you all, as you all bed down for the night. Mordecai, you are on your watch. What is your passive perception?
16.
16. Excellent. So how are you spending your watch? Are you just are you wolfing out the whole time, or are you splitting between?
I probably only have about an hour of wolf left, so I probably spend 1 hour as a wolf, 1 hour as a man. I don't know what that was.
Big strong man.
I think he just kind of is just trying to still acclimate to the weird smells, and is just kind of padding around, like getting just to the edge of things, and trying to listen for things out beyond the confines of the path. getting adjusted to the weird smell in the air. And then at some point, he'll snap back and actually take that hour to, set up his camp and get something to eat. But
as you are setting your camp up, putting your bedroll out, you feel a presence in the woods. You stand up straight and you look behind you. And deep in the woods, you see a pair of eyes staring back at you.
He fucking opens his mouth and just goes, ah. Closes it, claps a hand over his mouth real quick.
It is huge. I think actually specifically it is large.
Okay.
And it looks at you. And you look at it.
It's on the path?
It is next to the path. Ugh. And it is looking at you, and you can't really tell what it is. A wind rustles everything around you, and you get a distinct impression that if you got to look at this thing, you could turn into it. This thing is more powerful than anything you would ever be able to transform into, but you know that if you get off the path and you were to look at this thing, get a good look at whatever it is that is lurking in the shadows, this is a power you would be able to call on whenever you'd like. And it is big, and it is dark, and it is scary, and it is everything that you could use to defend your friends and your family. You just have to break that one little rule.
As we all know, Mordecai is too curious for his own good.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make a wisdom save.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a wisdom save.
Yeah, Yar.
It's a 13.
What do you think that means?
I think that means that Mordecai really, really wants to.
He does.
But he trusts Ricard. He knows that this is bigger than him right now with Amareya. I think he will approach, staying on the path. I think he will approach. I'll produce flame in my hand for a little bit of light.
You create this light, and you walk to the very edge of the path, where dirt meets dead grass. And you hold out your hand just a little bit off the road, just to see. And it seems like the darkness eats the light.
I'm out. Bye. I'm gone.
You saw, just as you reached the edge of the road, the biggest wolf you have or ever will see in your life.
Oh, come on. Mordecai's has his hand clamped over his mouth so he won't say anything.
Hello, little Mord. What's
I will. What I'll do, though, is with my other hands, now that the flame has gone out, I will twirl the ring of animal influence around my finger a few times and cast Speak with Animals so that I can understand it if it talks to me.
It sits there for... You said you got about an hour left in your watch at this point?
Give or take, sure.
It sits there for a solid 15 minutes, looking at you, waiting for you.
Mordecai's I want to, in his head, he's I want to talk to it so bad, but I won't. There are 2.5 rules.
Mama said straight ahead.
Not to delay and don't be sad.
I should have taken.
I should have expected this.
But he seemed so nice. I think what he's gonna do is to kind of a mental compromise is he'll sit cross-legged on the edge of the path and just kind of stare this thing down, and Speak with Animals is up for only 10 minutes. Yep. But yeah, he'll just kind of sit and chill and just kind of, watch the 2% of this animal that he can.
You sit there and you watch this great beast. And after 15 minutes, it leaves you.
Fuck. No, you know things now. Of all things.
I know things now. He mutters to himself this place sucks. This isn't fair. This is bullshit. Yeah, I'll just finish up the rest of my watch, I guess.
Griff missed out on Ultra Wolf.
Shut up. Come on. Don't post-event tempt me. Don't make me regret.
No, the regret is going to be I do have a stat block for this thing.
Chase.
A good DM is prepared.
Mega Wolf.
A good DM is prepared. Hey DM. This is suitably terrifying. We haven't even gone all the way around the horn yet. I do have one suggestion, and that is let's just scrap all of this and do a really, really bad Into the Woods parody.
If I'm singing, it's
actually fuck this.
What? You didn't think I wasn't gonna do a poison cookie episode at some point?
No, of course I knew you were going to, but you have done the best thing you could and make the cookie as tempting as humanly possible, and know that cookie is equivalent to giving away nuclear launch codes. I've
been in the fucking bakery poisoning cookies for all of you.
Anything can happen in the woods.
Really hate to ask it, but do you have a basket?
More like, do you have a casket? Am I right?
Hey.
This was just the woods.
Mordecai, the rest of your watch, what little is left, passes uneventfully. You wake up Jackson.
I'm waking up Jackson. Mm-hmm. I would just let Jackson know that, so...
What?
We did have
hold on.
Morning.
Okay, I'm ready.
Watching respectfully.
I don't know.
He does that thing where it takes a step back and folds his hands over his chest.
Yeah, Jackson just kind of sits up and goes straight into Lotus, and then and makes the requisite noises, and then cracks open one eye. I don't think this actually does anything for me, but here we are.
Well. We did have I had a visitor. Something was watching. It didn't advance. It was...
We have a guest? Where?
No, it was something off the path.
You didn't talk to it, did you?
I did not. I super did not.
High five.
I tried really hard not to. I will say it's kind of bullshit because it feels like it was tailor-made for me. To tempt me or something by some weird, I don't know, all-seeing, omniscient entity. Hard to describe.
Tempest thing. I'm ready to shot. It just rolls over.
That is how the forest was literally described to us.
Yeah, so that's not bullshit.
What if the forest is the dungeon?
Anyway, I'm gonna go pass out now.
Cool.
Just be well aware that shit is real. And it's real tempting.
Copy.
You got this.
Damn straight.
And I'll go to bed.
Okay.
I'll snuggle with my Kyrup Strider.
Amber kind of nuzzles in. Jackson, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Cool. Does dark vision do anything for me?
No. And that weirds you the fuck out.
Oh, man, the one time it'd be helpful to be an elf. Both Ryan and Jackson say simultaneously.
The darkness here is weird. The light from your campfire, which has been continuing to go this entire time, does not go more than a few feet off the path.
That's going to be a 15.
Okay. Is that what's your passive?
That is my passive.
That is your passive? Cool. You walk the edge of the path, and you hear small things in the woods, but that's all. Nothing huge, nothing looming, nothing like Mordecai described. Hours pass, and you realize it is time to wake up somebody to join you. Do you pick an NPC? Do you pick Zephyr? Who do you go with?
I'm going to let Zephyr sleep.
Okay.
Because he had a big day yesterday, and although I do give it a second thought because I am slightly concerned that Zephyr's snoring is going to bring something to us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe waking him up would be in our best interest. Okay. But instead, I will wake up. I'll wake up Amareya.
What can I do for you, Jackson?
Last couple days being a dude, you really gonna spend it sleeping?
I'll be honest. I will miss it.
You slept for so long. Why are you sleeping now?
That's the thing, Jackson. I really didn't. I was like half awake, half asleep. Like, have you ever woken up from a nap halfway through a REM cycle? It's awful.
Not in 14 months.
It's fair. It's fair.
Exists in this sort of twilight.
The two of you, do you stay up with him or do you go back into a meditative?
No, I stay up with him. Jackson has really realized that this is it, and he only has so much time left with Amareya.
He is quiet. Quieter than you've known him to be. He's always been a pretty quiet guy, but you can tell he's got a lot on his mind, and there's really not a lot to say.
Hey, Amareya.
Yes, Jackson Silver.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dragon.
Dragon who?
I don't know. I didn't think the joke would get this far.
Oh my god.
I had a feeling. I was really interested to see if it was going to go. If it went anywhere, I was going to be very impressed. I'll be honest with you.
Dragging you down this path, but not off the path. Thank you.
C+. C+.
All right, I'll take it. But so what is in this temple? We're going there.
Well, from what they have told me, from what I have surmised, it sounds like at the heart of it, my divine spark resides there.
Right. And then we get the divine spark thing, we shove it down your throat, you kerploof into a god, and then all is right with the world. The end.
Except for that whole potential invasion of a lich and or mind flayers back in Bulwark, and potentially other places too.
Maybe we just stay in these woods.
I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think you would find good company.
No, but if we get to your temple and we clean that up, like that seems like a good place to hang out. Oh man, we're gonna get there and we're gonna get you all good and stuff.
You would stay away from Addy?
Well, give me a sec. Goes and checks the scroll. There's probably nothing.
Nothing.
And he comes back and says, well, we're going to have to walk the fuck back through these woods, aren't we?
Maybe I can help you out once I am otherwise located. We'll see.
Flying on a dragon was pretty fucking cool. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, we kind of killed a lot of people, but it was really cool, and it saved a lot of time.
We'll see what I can.
Can you make Gary big?
He takes Gary. Gary kind of like snakes around his hand a bit. Maybe I can help you out. And he winks. In time, though.
You know, I remember, like, fairy tales. That's a weird word now, isn't it? But, like, growing up, you heard stories about people that used to, like, fly on these creatures and chivalrous knights and good versus evil and light conquers, and then this world kind of just evolved into us versus them, and the plants suck and everything's trying to kill us. And Amareya, I haven't felt like a hero in a goddamn long time, and I feel like I'm just doing a lot of people's dirty work to try to get the world to be a better place. And if that lets other people live a better life, then I can do that. But
I don't know what else you think being a hero would be.
I just like to feel good about some of the choices we've had to make. Because it feels like no matter which choice we make, we're going to end up hurting a lot of people. No matter what we do here on out, he kind of looks around, lowers his voice, and says, no matter what we do, we still tore Mordecai's family apart. And it's just really hard to feel like it's worth it.
Jackson Silver, in all of my time, I promise you, I have learned many things, and one of those things is that history is written by the victors. Make sure you win, and make sure you remember.
Kind of hard to forget now.
Indeed. The rest of the night passes quietly. Bird song wakes everybody up in the morning. Zephyr, you are finally quite well rested after your very long day. You've had a full night's sleep, which you probably weren't even expecting.
Huh? What is going on?
Rakar wakes up quickly and quietly and sets about making breakfast. The fire, kept going all night, is still warm and not uncomfortable. There's a nice chill fall breeze.
All right, quiet night mostly. What'd you say, Ricard? 2 more days?
2 more sleeps. We
2
walk
more
out
sleeps.
on day 3.
All right. Hey, I had a thought last night, Ricard.
Hey?
I think it was you that was telling us that some of the dangers that lurk out there, and I, for whatever reason, lean in and whisper, Faye, right?
There is a hint of that to them. Yes.
I can kind of manipulate those magics a little bit. If we needed to, I could make a couple of Fae creatures. If we needed, for whatever reason, something terrible happens, would sending Fae off the path be a thing? I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing.
That is a unique ability you have. It is possible that could work. It could also be utterly disastrous.
Yeah, right. So I kind of wanted to consult with the expert first.
I have not traveled with an individual with a deep connection to the Fae.
It's minor. I can make sort of animal shapes, but I think at their core they're pulled from the Fae.
They would be either weakened or emboldened by being here. They refer to this place, I believe, as unseelie. At least in part. There is something more to it, something they do not like to talk about either. They refer to this place as it is a blasted land to them. So like I said, either weakened or emboldened, I'm going to call it a 50-50.
All right, good to know. Well, if we need 8 cows or anything, just let me know.
That's a lot of cows.
Right? It's a kind of a busted amount of cows.
That is a useful amount of cows.
I'm just saying, I can snap my fingers and they can be here right now.
Hey, Mordecai.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Come in.
Thank you.
Zephyr, are you doing anything to kind of prep for the day?
I am packing my... all I really unpacked was the bedroll. I'm eating my cold food from the night before.
Mordecai's got a little camp stove if you want
There's
to,
also a literal fire 10 feet away from you. You could just push the bowl nearby and...
I can make fire with my hands.
I was going to say, at least half of us can make fire magically.
Yeah, but we're in the process of tearing down camp. I don't want to get more complicated.
Fine. Go ahead and keep complaining, then.
I was complaining out of character. Get bent.
I concede.
I'm now numbing my cold food.
Zephyr, does out of character just mean when you talk like somebody but your clothes don't match it?
Exactly.
Nailed it.
You pack up and load up onto your striders and make your way deeper into the woods. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia. A very special thanks to our donors, Nate C. and Nathan N., or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Ryan at Ryan_Albrecht, Griffin at GriffCold, and Zach at ThatGuyZachRob. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that the fewer rules there are, the more important they tend to be.
This has been a Ghostlight Media production.